Alright, me and Thor are back in our road playing more Gauntlet. I was actually going to switch it up and play some Kirby today. I wanted to do a stream for honor good friend Patrick Turner. But we're going to save that. I'm thinking of play some Kirby's Adventure. Sean Vincent sort of inspired that one. He was doing some Kirby videos earlier today. But I figured, let's do that in a day where I can sit down and really play it. I had this idea of doing a stream either tomorrow or Saturday. I'm going to fill that big horn mug I have, fill that thing up all the way with mead, play until, the idea is don't stop the stream until I can see the bottom of the mug. And that thing holds about 2 bottles of mead, so, and I'm not the type to chug it, so that would be quite the distance. That would be a good one to do my celebratory, my theme. I was looking up information on to see maybe if there's anything new, which of course 13 years later there's not. But I found another young man named Patrick Turner who passed away recently, a victim of suicide. So I would like to read up more on that and sort of make it a double Patrick Turner memorial, possibly. So, doing a little bit better. I played around a little bit with this on my break at work on my little portable emulator, Droid. And I was like, oh yeah, there's a warp in the first level. That's helpful. I have Gauntlet 2 sitting next to me. We might throw that on for a bit as well. But we will see how far we get this time. Gauntlet 4 on the Genesis is one I need to really pick up. But that has a really neat thing with the cover art was done, I believe it was done by Julie Bell, who's a fantastic artist. She did a lot of the famous fantasy artwork you see. She did a lot of collaborations with Boris Vallejo. I know Frazetta is sort of the go-to for fantasy art, but a lot of, if you're a kid from the 90s and you played fantasy type games, you're probably very much familiar with Julie Bell and Boris Vallejo. Julie Bell did a lot for the Genesis. I believe she did like Alicia Dragoon as well, and some of the RPGs like that. So I have a ton of artworks from her and Vallejo. Oh man, I just sit there and look through. I can stare at those pictures for hours. Those are all in my storage unit, however, like most things of mine. Hopefully, actual bookworms have not eaten them, but yeah, you never know, right? Okay, we do not have any keys, we don't have any bombs. Man, we need some food, though. We're at that wizard needs food badly sort of a situation going on. Decided this time we're going to more or less just run through it, but you can't always quite do it that way. You do got to clear out some of these hordes of enemies. Just how Gauntlet is. I mean, you are running the Gauntlet. It lives up to its name. That's one thing you can say about this game. It does indeed live up to its name. I believe a friend of mine that I was talking to, who watched part of the stream yesterday, told me they had never even heard of this series, and they're not much younger than me. That really took me by surprise. I just can imagine somebody like over the age of like 25 who's never heard of Gauntlet. The latest game came out just like 4 years ago. And add into that fact, games like Gauntlet Dark Legacy and Seven Sorrows were so popular when they came out in the PS2 and GameCube era. This notion that there exist people who've never heard of this franchise, it's pretty much a dead franchise. I mean, I'll give you that. But let's face it, Seven Sorrows didn't do very good. I mean, it wasn't a bad game, but it just didn't do very good. I think it was too short. Like, me and a buddy from the Navy, we played through it in a weekend. And it was easy enough, sat down, bam, done, knocked it out. Alright, Not even waste our time fighting these guys. So you gotta do this game. Sometimes you just gotta make a mad dash for the exit. That's why I think a lot of people prefer to use the elf, because he's just so fast and you can do that. You got yourself some orange juice today. Putting it in my vitamin C hole, as my friend likes to say. No, that is an individual who can make anything seem dirty, including drinking orange juice. Absolutely. Put the vitamin C in your vitamin C hole. Oh, I wasn't planning on going this way, but okay. Ah, that was unexpected. That was like some Hellraisers type stuff. Like, I opened the box. So yeah, I would like to play some Kirby's Adventure, play through the whole game, and if we're not done with the mead, we will play more. That will likely be tomorrow. You know, I have like no way of scheduling live streams because every time I think I'm going to be free, I end up not being free. But that's alright. It's just kind of how it goes sometimes. You know what? I'm going to try and do things a little bit. It might take too much time to do it this way. I'm going to try and get that food that's over there. I don't think I can. I think I might have already screwed the pooch on that one. Let's see if we can make this happen. Going the distance here. But then we're going to go back and use that warp. That was not worth my time. I would have had more life if I just used the warp. So, I thought that'd be a lesson. Just use the level 5 warp right here. Don't even bother going for all that extra food. It's not worth it. I like that they were able to incorporate some of the sounds in this from the arcade. That was not the best situation. I probably should not have used the bomb then. We did. I suppose if I don't survive it, it's probably an even worse situation. So, I'll just keep on going here. Now in Gauntlet 2, since that was more direct translation of the arcade game, you have the actual sounds like, you know, Elf needs food badly, wizard's about to die, all that stuff, which is really cool, but there's like not really a story in that. But I do like how they did that. With Gauntlet being more of its own thing, and then Gauntlet 2 being the arcade game, as I said yesterday, kind of like the Ninja Turtle games. Let's go ahead and clear these things out. And we're going to play around with these guys. We're just going to grab the bars. Try and plow through it. Oh, yeah. So if you get stuck on that stuff, though, you kind of puts a kink in your plan. It's alright. Wow, I'm just making a ton of mistakes on this playthrough. Like, I know kind of what I'm doing, but I'm not doing it. Not the way to play a game, but hey, at least I appropriately named this Wizard Plays Gauntlet Badly, so you can't really get after me too much. Killing off the food. Bam, there we go. Okay. Let's see if we can get rid of that guy. There we go. Gotta master that diagonal shot if you want to be good at this game. You also gotta be fast. So I've watched people like speedrun this game. It's pretty much the only way to do it. You gotta be fast on that trigger finger then, you know? which I sadly am not. Alright. We're going to try and get this piece of food. Does anybody remember where I was going? I mean, obviously towards the exit. Where the exit is, I don't recall. I keep dying when I get to this point in the game lately that I just don't remember what to do. Now that I'm here. Alright. More food, that's good. Was that a good spot to use the bomb? Probably not. I see we have a message coming up on us. But I can't get to look at that right now. Hopefully we can take a look at that in a minute here. Gotta get through these guys first. I think I made a mistake coming this way. Really, the only mistake I've made so far is deciding to play Gauntlet when I'm so terrible at it. Oh man. Hit it from here. There we go. That was helpful. It's like you can't fight everybody in this game, but at the same time you kind of have to. Oh, come on, if I can just complete this level, I would be happy. But given what the health is at, I don't foresee this happening. Damn goblins. Oh, there we go. We're dead. We're going to go ahead and throw Gauntlet 2 in just to switch it up a little bit. This one, look at that. I've got this thing nice and boxed and it's all pristine. I didn't realize until recently that this was an original Gauntlet story rather than an arcade port. I'd like to revisit it sometime. You absolutely should. It is a lot of fun. Unlike the arcade game, there's more of a story. I mean, the arcade game sort of got a story too, but there's not really an ending to it. I believe Gauntlet 4 on the Genesis kind of does the same thing, but it has like the arcade version on there as well as its own version. So go ahead and throw this in. Oh yeah, got a nice black Tengen cart there. Okay. Does anybody remember where I put my controller? I threw it down in front of me. So, on to Gauntlet 2. Where it is decided that we are playing as the warrior, whose name is Thor, by the way. So this guy's happy about that. Thor's like, yeah, I'm in a game. Also, he doesn't completely suck in this version of the game like he does in the first one. I know there are people that swear by the warrior in the first game, but not me. I was playing around on my emulator. There's a Gauntlet on the Master System, which surprisingly I was not aware of. And I believe it was more like this one, which is kind of neat. Less enemies, less of a horde feel to it. That's sort of the neat thing about it, though. You know, it's like between Gauntlet 1 and 2 on the NES, there's a version of the game that pretty much anybody can enjoy. It's funny though, I was playing this and I mentioned the Immortal yesterday, and then James Rolfe put up a new Angry Video Game Nerd episode, and it was the Immortal, and he even mentioned, you know, the idea of a wizard going through a dungeon, much like Gauntlet. And all I could comment was, you know, hey, this is cool, we're on the same wavelength, do not play Solstice on the Solstice, that is my thing. So I've got this feeling he's now going to play Solstice on the Solstice on me. I wasn't trying to be cute. Like, that's my thing. I've been doing that for well over a decade. Just, last year was the first year it was actually put on YouTube. Because I'm now on YouTube. I wasn't before. At least not in that sort of capacity. Oh, yeah, the Immortal is really hard. It is. It's better on like the Genesis and the PC. I've heard. It's one of those games that I almost play more for the aesthetic than the actual game, because the game itself, at least on the NES, is like meh. We're just gonna run. We're just gonna run. Oh, where are we going? Oh, there's too many of them. Which is funny because in this version of the game, this is too many of them, and this would be nothing in Gauntlet 1. So you call this too many? I think in this version you have to put the controller into the port for the character you want to play in, which kind of sucks because I can only play as the Valkyrie and the Warrior because I don't have an NES satellite, so I can't even play as a wizard in this one. That's just not right. Oh, well, where's the exit? Did I do something wrong here? I have not played this version of the game in so long. I usually just play the first one, There it is. Oh, they got you with these double doors, too. You gotta make sure you have your keys. I got the games that look so cool in Nintendo Power, so their marketing totally work. Just got the NES 4 score. Oh, you just got the NES 4 score? Because that'd be awesome. Yeah. You need it for something like this, or even, like, if you can get... Well, I think I'm dead now. If you can get 4 people to play Nightmare on Elm Street, oh man, that's a lot of fun. That's a game I don't like. I understand why people hate on Friday the 13th, which really isn't that bad, but it's definitely trying to do way too much, like more than the system would really allow. But then you get something like Nightmare on Elm Street, which was a pretty cool action platform, and people seem to want to hate on that one as well. And it's like, but that was legit good. I mean, they were both pretty good, but that was definitely the better of the two. So I have, like, no keys, which means I have no way to continue. You should get one. Yeah, that's the thing. I've wanted to get one, but he's not playing with me. So I thought it would be cool this year if I could get like 4 people, get one and get 4 people to play Nightmare on Elm Street for Halloween or something. But that wasn't going to happen. Well, it would seem I have come to the end of my journey in Gauntlet 2, as I do not have enough keys to continue on the game. That's really shitty. I didn't realize it would do that. Well, speaking of playing the game badly, you can't play much worse than that. Like it's a level 4 and then you just don't have enough keys. Rather than starve to death, Thor the Barbarian just kind of ups and leaves and goes home. That's what we're going with. Oops. So there's another NES game with a wizard called Magician. I mentioned it in my video about box art that I really like. And I mentioned that I had the game and I had forgotten what it was like, and I'd since played it again. We're going to throw Gauntlet 1 back in. So I started replaying it again a little while ago, and it's a pretty cool game where you're playing, obviously, as a magician, which clearly I like that sort of thing. But the part about it that was weird was there's a food meter. Like you have to have food or your character will starve to death. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a neat gimmick for this type of and it's pretty advanced for an RPG, like an action RPG on the system. But your character goes to the food way too fast, and they move really slow. So what ends up happening is you'll buy your food, try to go to the edge of town, and then your character will you'll almost immediately need food again right away, which is kind of dumb. So you find yourself starving to death a lot in that game. And it's like, if it weren't for that, this would be a really cool game. And so they tried to make this food system to make it more dynamic and more lifelike, and it ends up being the thing that completely cripples the game. Which is sad. But, what are you going to do? It was definitely an ambitious game, but it just didn't work. Alright. We're not playing those guys' game. Just gonna run for it. Just gonna run for it, except then I ran straight into a dead end. Oh boy. Ugh, no goblins. My wizard's not racist, but, no goblins. Alright, here we go. Oh. He's fighting his way through. Oh, man. It's close. Here we are at the dread. Like, this game gets hard fast. I mean, I know a lot of people can't get past, like, level 9. Like, even right here, level 7, man. It amps it up. Gauntlet is a game that does not play around. It's sort of like the precursor to things like the zombie mode in Call of Duty, which I've always kind of been torn with. I could never really figure out if I like that or if I hate it. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but survival modes, I don't know, you're destined to lose. It's almost like playing a lot of games on Atari, where you're just trying to play for a high score until you eventually lose. Like Robotron. Man, Robotron is awesome. That is a game you cannot go wrong with. But you also aren't going to win, Sometimes you just want to... Are you going to play this until you beat it? No, I am not, because I don't think this is one I could beat. I mean, eventually I could, sure, if I really wanted to, but... No, and my morning streams, I mean, I'm just got off work. I did some stuff around the house. I'm tired. Just going to go about half an hour, and then I go to bed. So, which is why tomorrow on Fridays, I usually don't go to sleep because I want to have like a normal sort of weekend, if that makes sense. So, a lot of times on my Fridays, I'll just stay up. There's been times when I haven't. I'll just be really tired and I'll pass out. But usually I stay up till about 6 or 7 at night. I usually make it to. And then I go to bed at that time. Then I can be up during the day on Saturday, which is kind of nice. So yeah, I'll probably stream. Like, so I'm probably going to stream Kirby's Adventure tomorrow and do the whole game. That's one I can obviously beat. Be sad if I couldn't. So tomorrow's the day, since I said that, tomorrow's the day I will not beat Kirby's Adventure because I just jinxed myself. That will be the stream in honor of my good friend Patrick Turner, who I will reminisce about tomorrow and probably tell all the same stories I told last year because you only remember so much. But that's okay. So it's like every 50 treasures is like a level up, but you don't really need them. It's really like you don't, like, you get a little bit stronger, but If you're using the elf or the wizard, you can beat the final boss of this game pretty easily, regardless. I've made it out of the castle once as a kid, and I think my nephew was playing with me when we did it. Because this and Swords and Serpents were two games we played like religious. And Swords and Serpents is funny. It's kind of like wizardry, the way it's set up, but it's definitely a very dated game. Like, if you were to sit down and look at Swords and Serpents today, you'd be like, why would anybody play this? But yeah, that was when me and my nephew used to play, like, as kids all the freaking time. That was, like, our game. Oh, man, what am I doing? I think I just hit the warp, though, so that's cool. Oh, no, I just leveled up. I'll take it. I'll take a level up. This is definitely a game where you need two people, especially if you do like two wizards or like a wizard and a warrior. Tends to work together pretty well. Oh, there's the Grim Reaper. I think I just met my match. Kirby's fun. This guy Kirby was supposed to be named after died. Oh, I didn't know that. I had a teddy bear when I was a kid. And my teddy bear's name was Kirby. I know where that is. That is in my storage unit too. But I want to go over there and pull my GameCube out of there. So if he's right at the front, like I think he is, I might bring him out for that. So I can have my Kirby teddy bear sitting next to me. It has nothing to do with the game. It's just a coincidence. And it was spelled differently. It was spelled like with a Y instead of an I. Well, that is a wizard playing Gauntlet poorly as a wizard. But it has been a half an hour, and I am getting tired. It is about 8:10 in the morning in Wisconsin. I'm ready for bed. So tomorrow I'll be streaming more in the afternoon, as long as I don't fall asleep. I've got a huge horn mug we're going to fill with mead, and we're not stopping until we reach the bottom of it. And we'll be playing some Kirby's Adventure. I should probably put that out on Twitter or something. Until then, thanks for stopping by. EC Myers Vids, yes. Have a wonderful day, and hopefully we'll see you.